Hey guys, Marcel with Anvil Wealth here. I'm going to tell the story about a little rental property that we got last Christmas here in Guntersville, Alabama on Obrigg Street. And it was December last year, and I had forgot I left a setting on Zillow for investment opportunities. So I get these little emails once in a while when something hits my search parameters. It comes into my email, and I go, "Oh, look at this investment opportunity." So I just always keep my eyes and mind open, and I see this thing, and it says one bedroom house, one bedroom, one bath in Guntersville for $49,900. So I sit there and I go 49,900. So your down payment at 20% is 10 grand. So you're like, I could just throw 10 grand at this investment, do nothing, and we're going to make money, right? So I sit there and I say, okay, well, let me call the listing agent, get information. Maybe I'll go see this house. It's downtown. It's close to where the commercial building is that we bought. So I call and they say, well, you can't go inside because we have a renter, a tenant in there. It's an investment property. But we did do an inspection and we're willing to provide it. So I didn't have to pay for an inspection. They got a neutral party inspection, and it had a lot of problems. It's an old house. It's a one bedroom, one bath, about 600 square feet. It's not real big, but the lot is over 7,000 square foot lot, so it's a pretty good size. So anyways, needless to say, I look at the report and I'm like, this thing has a lot of problems. Foundation, it's old, it has a lot of little things that need to be fixed. And I didn't really want a fix-it project. But so I decided to pass on the deal. Then like a week or two later, I get another notification on my email. It's Zillow again, investment opportunities, price drop. The price dropped to $46,900, and they were going to fix the foundational issue. So now I'm sitting there going, okay, well, we saved money by not having to fix the foundation, and it dropped $3,000. So I kind of kept looking at it, and I couldn't talk myself into the deal, so I passed. Well, of course, another week or two goes by, price drops again. It goes down to $42,900. Now I'm like seriously going, hey, at $42,900, it's almost a gimme. There's almost no risk to the investment. And again, I kept looking at the deal and I go, man, it seems like it's just got a lot of work to it. It just didn't seem like worth my time after everything I'd been through all year between getting the two houses ready in Tennessee for rent, moving to Alabama, getting our house set up here, selling the big storage facility in California, and then also me doing a 1031 on the house and the building. I was tired. I didn't want to deal with more real estate. So I sit there and it was down to $42,900. And again, I looked at the inspection report and I talked myself out of it. So it got to the point where I finally got one more notification and it dropped to $39,900. And there was just something in my head that just popped and said, there comes a number where even with all these repairs, this house is going to be a good deal. And I didn't know that number, but I started to go, man, if it's $39,900, I know someone's going to jump on this thing. So I thought there'd be value then. And so I said, I'm going to talk to these people and get some details, which of course I did. I went ahead and got the details, and I figured at $40,000, we're going to put in 10 grand, it's 25% down, and we're good to go. And sure enough, we did. So I got a partner of mine who'd been wanting to invest out here, and we each put in $5,000, and we got a loan for, I think it was $32,000 at 5.25% interest. This was last December, before the rates went up into the sevens. And it's a 10-year loan with a 15-year amortization, which means you have to do a balloon payment or you refi the last 5 years at the end. But it's a good loan for us. Our mortgage is $298, and we about break even on it. I think we make about $10 or $15 a month. But we didn't buy it as much for cash flow immediately as we wanted assets. We wanted to get another house in a growing area. We also, my friend Octavio wanted to get into the real estate game, and so I was able to get him into the game. We formed an LLC, a limited liability corporation, with the two of us as 50% owners. This person is someone that I have a very close friendship over 20 years with. And we had been talking about getting real estate together. And this was in our wheelhouse, something, that it's kind of like a starter investment opportunity for him. There is some nice properties that could use some work that are in a growing area. And that's basically what I look for when I'm trying to buy things. I want something that's going to go in an area that's going to grow. The area where we are is about an hour southeast of Huntsville and an hour northeast of Birmingham. And it's a resort town. So we get a lot of people that come from Birmingham and Huntsville and other areas, come to the lake, they go fishing. There's a natural national park, but the area was really good. Now this LLC, it's 50-50. I would say basically because my partner lives in California, I handle any repairs or collecting rent or stuff like that. And I'm happy to do that, obviously, because he's a friend of mine. But if we did deals down the road, we would have to set up a property manager, or I would have to get some kind of compensation as the property manager. So each deal is different. I would always be fair, as I would with any business partner. I would take a small percentage for that, but that's the legal structure. Moving on to inspections. Whenever you get a house, you have to get an inspection. Not you should get one, but you have to get one. That's just my rule. In this case, this little house, I wasn't able to get an inspection, but the owner, the actual realtor, got an inspection of the house to share with all the buyers. And it was extensive. The house is old and needs a lot of work. I don't know the cost. I don't know what he paid for it. Inspections are usually a few $100s, but it's the best money you could ever spend on any property. And the one thing I would say is if you find a property that has a bad inspection, that has a lot of problems you don't want to deal with, don't worry about the lost money you pay for the inspection. Because, if it's $500, $400, most people, the first thing I think is, God, I wasted $400 or $500. The reality is it's not that you wasted $400 or $500, it's that you saved yourself from a huge amount of thousands of dollars of headaches. So think of it in a positive way, not as a negative expense. In this case, also, I didn't use a realtor because it was a very low priced property. The realtor that was the listing agent, it was a real simple transaction. And the realtor actually worked in the same office as my realtor. So once I talked to my guy, he said, you won't need me for this. There's not much commission on it. So you can go through the deal with this guy. So I actually had a recommendation on it. Marcel here with Anvil Wealth again. One of the things that I like to do is people ask me, they say, okay, well, everything you've taught us is really good, but how do I get started? So there's different ways. It depends on the person. Some people like to do it all themselves. They're going to save the down payment, get their own loan, own their own property. Other people may not be ready for that step. Maybe they want to do what I did with my friend Octavio and buy a house as a syndicate or as a partner. I'm available to do that. Depends on the offer and depends on the person. But a lot of times they just they want to partner up with me. I have a good reputation. I've always been honest with people and fair, and so I would expect people to be the same way of treating me. But yeah, that's how I built that relationship with Octavio. And you could start with, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. But every deal I do, I put my money in an equal share with the other person. I don't believe that I'm just going to manage properties and you put all the money in risk. I want a piece of the action. I want the house to appreciate. I want to be able to deal with the tenants, and if we have to evict them or who we're going to bring in as a new tenant. Those are important things to be a part of, and I enjoy doing that stuff. So those are my thoughts on how to get started. You can contact me directly, and if there's deals that we find that are going to work for us, then I'm happy to do it with you.